Okay, so first part. Let me show you, the first thing I want to show you is how to find your y-intercept. Okay. How to find the y-intercept. Super, super simple. Guys, what is true for the y-intercept? Always, anybody remember? For any y-intercept. Remember? So let me show you real quick. This is really important. If I have a graph, right? A y-intercept has to touch the y. So like, let's say 1, 2, 3. What's the location of that point? 0, 1. What's the location of this point? 0. So what's true here? Always true? X is always 0. Okay, and I'm showing you how to come up with that information if you forget. Okay, so always X is always 0. Always for y-intercept. Always. When you go to calculus, it's the same thing. X, when you're in algebra 1, X is always 0. Okay, so if I have this equation, f of X equal if I have that really complicated equation and they ask me for the y-intercept, all I need to do is plug in X equal to 0. Okay, and check what happens. So if I do y equals, f of X is just y, so y equals X squared, but I'm going to plug in 0. So 0 squared minus 5 times 0 minus 6 over 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 3. Right, all I did there is plug in a 0, right? So what's 0 squared? 0, what's 5 times 0? 0. Everybody see that all these are just 0, 0, 0, 0? Right? The only thing left I have is negative 6 over 3. So what is negative 6 over 3? Negative 2. Okay, so my y-intercept, therefore my y-intercept, X is always 0, and then the y is negative 2. Okay. Now notice what happened is it just came from the two constants, the two numbers that don't have an X with them. Okay, because all the X's disappear. Does that make sense? Okay, we're going to have to factor this, okay? Here you'll see in just a second. We're going to have to factor. So let's factor. Let's say you're doing this problem and you forgot to do the y-intercept here, so you just kept on going and you factored. So this problem, I'm going to factor it for you just to save time. Because I know you guys can factor. We've been factoring since the beginning of the year, and factoring is super important. We're still doing it. It's November and we're still factoring, okay? So you did this problem. How do I, now they give us to it, we factor it. How do I find the y-intercept from there? Same exact way. Okay, you plug in X for 0. It doesn't matter what the equation looks like. You plug in X equals 0. Okay. Same thing, watch, check this out. 0 plus 1, 0 minus 6, 0 plus 1, 0 plus 3. Now, I'm not multiplying times 0, I'm adding. So like 0 plus 1 is just 1. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. 0 plus 1 is just 1. 0 plus 3 is just 3. So now I just have 1 times negative 6, and then 1 times 3. So I have negative 6 over 3, negative 2. Again, because it is the same equation. It's just one is factored, one is not. You guys know, you see what I mean? Same thing, right? We just plug in a 0, okay? So whether you do it in the beginning or you do it after you factor, it doesn't matter. Okay, personally, if you remember, I think this one is easier mathematically wise, because all the x's disappear and then you just end up with the two constants. But if you forget, or if they give it to you in factored form, it still works out. Just plug in. Okay guys, questions so far? Anybody? No? Okay, easy peasy, right? Math's not too bad. Okay.